Zombies After Dark.
When I finally completed Dead Rising 3, the kill counter in the corner of my screen read 26,978. Also, I was wearing this luchador mask for some reason. But that's a really big number. It's like killing one zombie per second for 7.5 hours. The fact that I'm still ready and willing to go for another round with a co-op buddy is a good sign that Dead Rising 3 is packing enough variety and goofy action to make it a good time. Notice that I didn't say it was pretty. Dead Rising 3 runs at an upscaled 720p resolution. It doesn't have amazing textures outside of its cinematics, and it suffers from regular frame rate stutters and occasional walls that pop in after you've already driven into them. It doesn't look a whole lot better than what you've probably already played on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Instead, it's big on quantity. I have never seen this many zombies on screen at once in any game. Up close, there are enough distinct character models that I didn't really feel like I was killing the same one 27,000 times, and I love the many ways in which they fall apart. They're fun and easy to kill. Easy enough that charging into the horde and bashing away with a sweet new weapon is a great way to build up experience. But you've got to know when to quit, because they never will. Especially at night when zombies are at their angriest. Fear kicked in whenever I was stuck in the middle of a horde and my life began to run low. But since you can now save anywhere, unless you're playing on Nightmare mode, the worst part about dying in Dead Rising 3 isn't losing progress. It's the 45-second loading times. Combat is a simple system of light and heavy attacks, but it's the over-the-top animations and different effects of 300+ weapons that really sustain it over the course of a 30-hour game. I never really got a chance to get sick of any one weapon, since they all break after a short period of use, and that forces you to mix it up. I love how most of Dead Rising 3's collectibles are blueprints for crafting new weaponry, instead of meaningless achievement padding. They get positively goofy, like turning microwaves into laser beams, or strapping a car battery to a mask of Street Fighter's Blanca. There's also a character upgrade system that's big and well done, with most of the options on the menu providing real benefits that you can feel right away.
What do we have here? Some fresh meat. What about it, boys? Is this a tasty treat or what?
What's weird about the story, or weirdest I should say, is that main character Nick Ramos can't decide whether he knows he's in a zombie parody movie or not. One minute he's lamenting that he had to take a human life. The next, he's putting on a sombrero and turning a leaf blower into a gun that shoots sex toys at lethal velocity. The inconsistency feels weird if you're playing it straight, but the big laughs come when you mess with Nick's wardrobe and force him to attempt to be dramatic while wearing an afro wig and a miniskirt. Beyond that, it's pretty cliche the whole way. There's no timed hunt for Zombrex this time, but you do have to push the story along every so often or the whole town blows up. The acting is respectable, even with minor characters. Each companion has their own side quest fetch job you have to do to earn their loyalty, but along with their color commentary when they're on your team, it gives them great context and personality.
No, I mean yes, I pissed myself this morning. Hi, you fast?
That character development makes it more memorable when you get them permanently killed. Fortunately, you don't have to babysit them too much, and it's hilarious to gear them up with weapons and watch them go to work. But after many hours of having fun with them, I decided I was better off finishing the campaign solo. Companions get in your way a lot.
That was an accident.
The other notable characters are the Psychos, which are optional boss battles. The fights aren't all that impressively designed, but they do have the most interesting and grotesque villains. Dead Rising 3's open-world map is full of interesting and distinctively detailed locations to explore. Its biggest problem is that it's not very large when you're traveling by car, and it attempts to mask that by placing lots of roadblocks everywhere in order to lengthen your route. But the map screen is often either wrong about whether a route is drivable, or it's just tough to read. I had to spend way too much time looking at the map trying to figure out how I was going to get where I was going. Everything works the same way in the drop-in co-op, except better because there are two of you. I've already had some great moments in there, like when my partner drove up to save me in the midst of a big group of zombies. I'm looking forward to playing a lot more of that.
So proud of you, Kitten Lips. Proud of you for coming through for all of us in this mess.
Dead Rising 3 doesn't get by on its looks, but its meaty, zombie-slaying combat and nearly endless supply of undead and ridiculous weapons go a long way. Through its lengthy campaign, I was always eager to see what crazy zombie-squishing contraption would come along next. It rarely disappointed, except when navigating its snarled maps and waiting out its load times took me out of the fight for too long. For more on Dead Rising 3, keep it on IGN. And if you want to see zombies getting killed by a weapon called the Jazz Hands, watch this.